Welcome everyone. Welcome to the next lecture on business models of e-commerce. E-commerce or electronic commerce business model can generally be characterized in the following categories: business to business, business to consumer, consumer to consumer, consumer to business, business to government, government to business, and government to citizen. So now we are going to look on each of the category. What are those things? So first is business to business. Website following business to business model sells its products to an intermediate buyer who then sells the product to the final customer. As an example, a wholesaler places an order from a company's website and after receiving the consignment sells the end product to the final customer who comes to buy the product at wholesaler's retail outlet. So from the diagram you can also see that a wholesaler is giving order on the website, then the order is being processed and it is supplied to the wholesaler, and then wholesaler sells it to the customer. So this is a very good example to business model. For example, if you will look at Images Bazaar, Basecamp or Salesforce, they are a very good example of business to business models. Then we look at business to consumer, that is B2C. Website following business to customer model sells its product directly to a customer. A customer can view products shown on the website of the business organization. The customer can choose a product and order the same. Website will send a notification to the business organization via email, and organization will dispatch the product or goods to the customer. So relatively from business to business, business to consumer is easy to understand because in that customer is directly ordering on the website and it is being directly supplied from that vendor. For that, a very good example is Amazon.com, Flipkart, Book My Show and Paytm. So these are a very good example of business to consumer. Next we talk about consumer to consumer. Website following consumer to consumer business model helps consumer to sell their assets like residential property, cars, motorcycle, etc., or rent a room by publishing their information on the website. Website may or may not charge the consumer for its services. Another consumer may opt to buy the product of the first consumer by viewing the post or the advertisement on the website. So see, it can be a paid service or it can be a free service. So a good example of consumer to consumer are eBay, OLX, Western Union, PayPal. So in that you can understand which business can lie in which model. Next we have consumer to business. In this model, a consumer approaches the website showing multiple business organizations for a particular service. Consumer places an estimate of amount that he or she wants to spend for a particular service. For example, comparisons of interest rate of personal loan, car loan provided by various banks via website. Business organization who fulfill the consumer requirement within the specified budget approaches the customer and provides its services. So for example, if we look at Freelancer, Elance, Odesk, Priceline, they all do such kind of businesses which lies in the category of consumer to business. If you look at consumer to consumer and consumer to business, here you can see the difference: want to sell products and want to buy products. Here process order and pays money for particular service. So this is the main difference in consumer to consumer and consumer to business. Next stop is business to government or B2G. In this model, it is a variant of business to business model. Such websites are used by government to trade and exchange information with various business organizations. Such websites are accredited by the government and provide a medium to businesses to submit application forms to the government. So in business organization, it goes to website, then it goes to the government. So for this, if you look at a website that are used by the government to trade or exchange information with various business organizations, you will able to find here, you will be finding many organizations doing those things. So you have to spot those business to government models that are being used by the different organizations. Then comes government to business. In this, government uses B2G model website to approach business organizations. Such websites support auctions, tenders, and application submission facilities. Then comes government to citizen. Government uses government to citizen model website to approach citizens in general. Such websites support auctions of vehicle, machinery, or any other material. Such websites also provide services like registration of birth, marriage, or death certificates. Main objective of government to citizen websites are to reduce average time in fulfilling people requests from various government services. So e-Oman is an initiative can be categorized into all those three categories: business to government, government to business, and government to citizen. For those e-commerce models, you have to have some enablers. For that, you need some specific hardware, web servers, softwares, payment system, database, and hosting services. For example, if you are making an e-commerce business, you need to have some specific hardware that can be supplied by IBM, HP, or Compaq, Dell, or Sun. As your prerequisite, you have done active server pages. So if you are going to continue active server pages, then you need a web server, that is Internet Information Server, that is called as IAS. And if you are going towards a different technology, that is Java server pages, then for that you need to have an Apache server. Similarly, if you are having all those services, you need to have an operating system. It can be from Microsoft, Linux, or Sun. Similarly, if you are using an IAS server, you need a Microsoft platform. And if you are using an Apache server, then Linux or Sun will be a better option. Then you have to look for a payment system. What kind of payment mechanism you are going to provide to your customers. Either it will be a VeriSign, PayPal, or any other mechanism that you are going to use. After that, you need to think about storing all those information that will be done on your website. You need to store it in some form of a database. You can use Oracle, IBM, Microsoft, Sybase. Depending upon the type of hardware, web server, and operating system that you are using, you can decide on the type of database. For example, if you are using IAS server and you are using Microsoft as your operating system, so it is a better option that you go for MS SQL Server. Similarly, if you are using an Apache web server using Linux, then you can use Oracle, or depending upon the size of the business that you are going to have. At the end, you need to have a hosting services where you are going to host your website. So IBM, Web Intellects, Intellect, or you can find different hosting services from where you can host your e-commerce business. So these are the things that you need to understand, which model you are going to choose for your business, which strategy that you are going to follow, and what are the things that are necessary or required to make your e-commerce business up and going. So these are the different e-commerce models. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for listening.